Democrats like Congressman Elijah Cummings say they care about how migrants are being treated at the border. But what about the families and people in their own district? Congressman Cummings was elected to represent West Baltimore, but living conditions at the border are better than most areas in his district. The city lined with abandoned buildings and trash on the streets. Our next guest is a Maryland resident who took these videos to see what it's really like. Joining us now with more, Republican strategist Kimberly Klacik. Kimberly, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So what did you find was going on in Cummings' district?
Yeah, so, there is a crisis at the border, but there's also a crisis in Baltimore. And I don't think many people realize this, but Congressman Cummings represents the most dangerous district in America. So I went into the district to basically ask people if they were scared of Trump. Congressman Cummings said on a talk show on last Sunday, I believe, that his constituents were afraid of Trump. And as I go in and I start talking to people, I realize just what the living conditions are for not just the residents, but even the children there, and what they've been playing around. There's abandoned row homes filled with trash, homeless addicts, empty needles that they have used, and it's really right next door. So it's attracting rodents, cockroaches, you name it. But, to have Congressman Cummings talk about the situation at the border is just, it's laughable because the conditions in his own district, and a lot of people said he hasn't even been there in a while, are atrocious. And not to mention, those that live there, I didn't find anyone that said they were afraid of Trump. This is a deadly district where we had, I guess, 2 days ago, 8 people were shot in less than 5 hours. So to say that they're afraid of Trump is just ridiculous. But I did find out that there are many people that are actually on board with Trump's immigration policies. So I don't know who he was talking to in his district, but it wasn't the people I spoke to.
Let's take a listen to the district residents' message to elected officials, and then I want to get your reaction.
Help us, because we're helping y'all. Y'all want our votes. Y'all want us to write Congress. Y'all want us to do this and do this. Y'all need to help us. Once y'all start helping us, maybe the neighborhood, maybe Baltimore will get better.
So why isn't he listening? Why is there this disconnect? It seems to me that you can care about the conditions at the border and care about what's going on with respect to the children in these processing centers, and at the same time care about the people in your own district who are obviously, in many cases, suffering these insufferable conditions. What's going on here?
I think, honestly, Congressman Cummings, like many Democrats, are just in there for the photo ops. Because, he's been in office in some capacity in Baltimore City for 33 years. He started out as a Maryland delegate and then was elected to Congress. So why he doesn't go into his district and actually take a look at the conditions, I really don't know. But as you can see, they're pleading for help. And Baltimore, it's gotten worse under his watch. And so I really think, obviously there is a crisis at the border, but there's a crisis in his own backyard, and he really should pay attention. Not too long ago, Poe Homes, a project where he is a representative, they were without water for 8 days, and that made a national headline.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand why he's doing this, but you know what? The conditions at the border are actually better than conditions in his district.
Well, Kimberly, really appreciate you being here. Unfortunately, sometimes politicians go into Washington and it all becomes all about politics, and they forget about what's going on in their own areas that they're supposed to be representing. So appreciate your take as always. Thanks so much for bringing us that.